everybody. It's Safi and Marco, Dish It on the Movies. And today, I don't know if what Marco's doing, but I have my top 10 worst movies of 2023. And I actually happened to watch 23 movies this year that were 2023 movies. So, really, it is basically my bottom 23 through 14.
It's your top 10 worst.
And the top 10 worst. Then there's a few in the middle. And then there's the top 10 best.
I did have to force Safi to watch the movies, though, because this is a year where, I think that you can tell how weak the year is if by the end Safi hasn't watched nearly enough. And this was one of those years. Because, like with last year, I think that we had quite a few movies and a lot more, actually. And with this year, it just feels kind of sparse. Like, even the top 10 best movies, they're not really
outstanding.
Yeah. They're just great for this year. And with last year, you at least had that one movie that was outstanding. So, this is kind of an off year. Safi, what are your worst movies? What's your number 10 and everything?
Alright, well, I don't know how much comment I'm going to have to give on. I'm going to be able to give on some of them because they're so bad that I have a thing where if I see a really bad movie, that's so mediocre, I just kind of put it on the shelf in my mind and forget about it because I don't want to remember it anymore. I just don't think it's worth it. And I'm not really into ranking, but I know millennials and Gen Z people love to rank everything, and this is sports, everything. So, anyway, my worst, wait a minute, okay, we're doing... Wait a minute, now I'm getting confused. We're doing the least to the worst. So the least of the worst is Barbie.
Number 10?
That's 10.
Okay.
Okay, now I have it right on here.
Ew.
I did have it wrong. Okay. And I know everybody, well, it seemed like they did. And they may have changed their minds by now, but liked Barbie.
No, not really.
I wouldn't mind if there would be in a Barbie an adult movie if it was good.
Yeah.
And because there's some Barbie movies. There's a lot of Barbie movies. They're little children's stories. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
And
a lot better than
those
this
are for
movie.
Kids.
Yeah.
But I have seen a couple of those, but I thought they were pretty good. And if I was a mother, I did have Barbies when I was a kid. The original ones, the earliest ones. I gave them away to a kid because I wasn't really into dolls, but I played with them for, a few years and gave them away when I was a teenager. And, it was, I liked Margot Robbie and, is it Ryan Gosling? I thought they were good. In the original, they were more boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this is what the original intent, because I was there, and I had the original Barbie and Ken. And I think I had a Skipper, which was her sister. I know they've added more people. I don't know if I had a Midge. Midge is her best friend. And, but anyway, I did have the original Barbie and Ken and Skipper. And so anyway, this thing, what they were doing in the movie, I don't know what that was. They just didn't act like they were a couple. I don't know. It was really odd. And that's not like they were actually related or something. I don't know. It was just odd.
But they couldn't be a couple because this is a feminazi movie.
But they were a couple. That's the original thing.
I know.
And they also, I remember too, that I had, because I read a lot. I still read tons, and I had like a early Barbie book, and I read the book, and it was, it was a kid's book, but they were boyfriend and girlfriend. I mean, that's the way it was in the book. So, I mean, this is the original thing. So all that, the way they had it, that's just bull, S-H-I-T. And I thought Margot Robbie and Ryan, I thought Margot was a really perfect Barbie. She really looked like a Barbie doll.
Not really.
No, I thought so from years past. She really did. And I loved the clothes. And that is a very important thing with the clothes, because
But that's a very easy thing to do, though.
That's not
for the movie.
But these are just little things that I did like about it. And then Ryan Gosling, I thought he did pretty good, but they made him and all the other men seem stupid.
Yeah,
and I didn't get that, because
that's a typical thing that they do now.
Regular people. They weren't stupider or smarter than anybody else. Barbie still, all these years, she's done all these different occupations, and that's a good thing. That's what it was supposed to, that's the intent, was to show that you could be what you wanted to be if you try really hard and do, and you just ask some of these football players who just played the past few days. They make their mistakes, they're growing up, the ones in college, but they're still, and some of them will get famous, some of them won't. But they're just doing what they want to do, and they will continue to do what they want to do. Some of them are scholars, but I'm just telling you, that's boys. But still, this thing where all the men as a whole seem stupid, and all the girls as a whole seem smart, that's not right. That's why.
Well, they also commit voter suppression at the end of the movie. Like how they beat the quote-unquote bad guy at the end of the movie is by committing voter suppression, which is funny. It's like, oh, so it's okay if feminazis do that, but it's not okay if other people do that? Like, yeah, we see how it is.
Okay, well then,
And you know what, there's some news with that, too, is that Mattel is not really interested in doing a Barbie Part 2 anymore.
Really?
Because there was a decline in Barbie sales over the holiday period.
Oh.
And it's like, I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because they made a feminazi movie that really didn't have anything to do with Barbie, and it just had to do with feminazism.
Yeah, I don't know. I just...
Because the whole movie was basically saying that Barbies are bad, and that, Barbies are bad because they don't, quote-unquote, represent real women. And it's like, yeah, okay. And, they allowed that, Mattel, they're the ones who allowed that shitty movie to be made.
Well,
so
they probably didn't envision what it would be like.
That's what they get.
Okay, well, I don't know if I agree with that. But anyway,
what?
My number 9 is Wonka.
Ooh.
And I just saw that, and I just found out today from Marco, I watched it, and I thought it was very bare. And what I liked most about it was Timothy Chalamet. I just thought he was really good.
Yeah, that's not his name.
Okay, whatever his name is, the guy who played Wonka, I thought he was really good.
You're gay for him.
And, I thought the other actors did well too. It just wasn't Willy Wonka. I don't know. It's really weird. This Marco says today to me that it's a prequel.
Yeah, apparently when Safi watched it, she was under the impression that this was like a remake of the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. She didn't even put together that it was a prequel. And it's like everyone else in the whole world knew it was a prequel except for Safi.
Well, the reason why was because it doesn't fit in with what's already been put out there.
I know.
And that's why I was confused. And, I mean, the one with Johnny Depp, his dad was a dentist. And that's his growing up. then it went from him to being Willy Wonka, and there was really a transition period. I guess it wasn't really developed, but I mean, it was good. I thought it was a pretty good movie. The first one was really good.
Yeah, this is supposed to... Of course,
you don't really see
this
before.
This movie is supposed to be the prequel to the first movie.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was very bare.
I know.
And, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. And they also, unlike the Godzilla -1, because because you're looking back, I mean, the first Wonka movie was a long time ago. It wasn't as long as the old Godzilla movies, but you have to kind of look at that because it was at least 20 years ago, maybe.
Who?
The Wonka movie, the original one.
I think it was. The original was in the 70s, Safi.
70s. Okay, well, that's quite a while ago.
That's not 20 years ago, though.
No, that's a lot more than 20. It's more like very vintage. Anyway, it just wasn't very true it didn't flow to the new one, to what was done before. If this is supposed to be a prequel, it just doesn't match up. It's like, I wish I just made a completely different story. This is what I'm getting really tired of. I don't know if we've talked about it a lot, but we have talked about it, where instead of just making sequels and prequels, unless it's just really excellent, and you think you can make, like, let's say Guardians of the Galaxy is a good example. Our opinion, I think, was that the Guardian of the Galaxy 2 was the better than the first one.
Yeah.
And that would have been what was called a sequel. But if you're going to do these prequels and sequels, if they're, just make a different story. It's just, I'm sick of it. Okay, then I'm just going to go on because I don't want to keep going on about Wonka, and I have a million other things to do. But next one is Children of the Corn reboot.
Ew.
I could have put this farther up.
Well, yeah, you remember how fun it
farther
was?
Down, I mean.
You remember how fun it was when we watched the Children of the Corn series?
Yeah, see, we watched all of the Children of the Corn movies, and I don't think I want to see another one for a while.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see the original.
Or the third one.
So this would be, it's like a reboot of the original, and it just is terrible. The original, the couple involved, the main couple, they loved each other and supported each other.
No, this isn't what you're thinking, Safi.
But this wasn't. What?
This didn't have any couple. This was a prequel to the original.
What?
You're thinking of the remake. We also watched that one remake where the couple hated each other. That's not this movie. There's no couple in this movie.
I thought you said it was the reboot.
This is another reboot. Those are both reboots.
Okay,
they wanted to make...
This is no good. Okay, whatever it is, it's no good.
It had the little girl who was good, and then it had the older girl who looked like Lisa Simpson and acted like Lisa Simpson.
Oh, okay, I remember now. It still was no good.
It was a prequel, and see, it was terrible. Nobody liked it.
Okay, it was no good. I didn't like it. It just... And I saw, to be fair, we saw every single one because we decided that was one thing we were going to do. We're going to look at all of the Children of the Corns, watch every one, rate every one, then put it all together, and we ranked them. Okay?
What I'm getting really sick and tired of, too, because you talked about how you don't want to watch Children of the Corn anymore for a while. Well, I'm getting sick of these horror groups on Facebook where they just talk about the same horror movies over and over and over again. It's like every month they're like, let's revisit and re-talk about Friday the 13th Part 4. And it's like they just keep on talking about the same old movies over and over again. because they can't think of what else to talk about. And they've like rated the Children of the Corn movies multiple times. And it's like, how many times do you need to rate these movies? We've already been there and done that.
Yeah. Okay, well, the next one is number 7. It's Free to a Bad Home.
Oh.
Now, probably a lot of you have not seen this movie, and it's just not. It's okay, but the reason why it's even as high as it is because they have an excuse. They had a limited budget, a very minimal limited budget. And so I think they did the best they could.
And they did have a couple of good actors, too.
Yeah, and the rest of these movies don't have an excuse, but because they have hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's almost disgusting.
Yeah.
And you have a group of people, and this was, Marco said this was made by a group in Cincinnati. And they did this one thing, I'll just mention it. My husband used to be, he's an anthropologist, and he studied substance abuse. That was like his main field. He for years, did research on substance abuse of every freaking kind since 1989. And so you have everything from ecstasy to methamphetamines to, every single drug that was highlighted in the news. And I asked him about this. They do this thing in the movie where these girls are putting eye drops in their eyes. And we were thinking it's some kind of drug because of the way they were using it and everything. It seemed like they were trying to get high. And I asked him, because he's seen everything and heard about everything, and he still has a foot in the door of that, because he helps other anthropologists applying for grant money. And so I asked him if this was a thing about putting eye drops with substances in your eyes, and he said no. So I don't know what that was about, but that was like a thing they showed, so I don't get what that is. I thought that was weird, but the only thing, it was an original story, and it's kind of like other horror movies where they make bad decisions, and the bad decisions get them killed. And it's, it's like, any horror movie where you decide to turn around, or you go to a certain place, or go to the wrong house, or you talk to the wrong people.
You wear the wrong wedding ring.
Just anything. But this was an obvious decision. They didn't have to go. And they just get knocked off right and left. But it was pretty good. That's why it's not down at the very bottom. The only reason why that I put it lower is because of this thing with the drugs. It's not right. And that it was just a low budget movie. But they have an excuse. That's why it's not the worst, because they don't have millions of dollars, and they're limited by what they had. I think they did pretty good. They did their best. But anyway, my next one is The Flash.
Ugh.
I don't like the main actor. I don't know why they couldn't use Grant Gustin, or whatever his name is. And because this guy isn't so good. He's kind of bratty, the main actor, and I can't remember what else I didn't like about it. I just didn't think it was very good. I wish they would. And now, because he's in his private life, he has been such a stink bomb that they can't just go out and say, oh boy, let's make another Flash movie.
Well, they're not going to anyways, because
really?
they're rebooting the DC again. Because
they've had their
what happened was,
problems.
in 2012, when the crappy Man of Steel came out, they gave all of DC to that sacked Snyder, and it failed, as we knew it was going to fail. And then they're like, "Uh-oh, what do we do?" And so for a couple of years, they're like, let's just throw shit at the wall and make a bunch of random projects that don't connect and are just like special little things by themselves. And then they're like, "Oh, well, maybe we should make a connected universe." So then they're doing that now. But it's probably gonna suck too, because DC just sucks at making movies.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at my phone at the list because it just doesn't match the one
What?
here. Okay.
What, are you having list problems again?
Oh, I know. I see. It's there. Okay, so that was the Flash. That was 6. No, that's not 1. This is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
I would also like to add that the Batman and the Flash was not very good, and that Supergirl was not very good. And I'd also like to add that Safi is special. And I would also like to add that sometimes Safi doesn't even watch the movie. She just writes some...
Okay, so I messed up.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, Marco. Okay. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My 10th one, everything's gonna be moved downward.
Oh, no.
My 10th one was Thanksgiving.
That's going to make it fun to edit.
Okay? No, I'll just move everything down. But my 10th one was Thanksgiving, not Barbie. My 9th one is Barbie.
Oh.
Okay?
Well,
10 is Thanksgiving. And
bullshit. That's a good movie.
Well, it's not. That's why it's 10. I have 23 movies, so...
Yeah, well, that doesn't excuse
basically,
it. You're going to tell me that Diary of a Wimpy Kid was better than Thanksgiving?
Yeah, just one above. And actually, this was very creative, and I like the fact that it was made about Thanksgiving. There's not really... The only kind of Thanksgiving movies you see are like Hallmark or some kind of weird comedies that aren't really funny about family members and they act stupid at the Thanksgiving get-together, or there's fights, and it's just stupid. This one was more, there was a serial killer, and it was a revenge killing. So, that's better than Barbie. So...
I know.
It's probably... Well, I'll just leave it where it is, because it's still...
Because it's really good, and it shouldn't even be in a worst list.
So anyway, that's where it's at the very end of it, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So Thanksgiving is 10, Barbie's 9, Wonka's 8, Children of the Corn is 7, Free to a Bad Home is 6. Okay, I think I'm on 5 now. And then, the Flash is next. And then the next one is Ant-Man 3, I guess.
Ooh.
And that was just awful. I mean, my last 3 movies, 8, 9, 10... 7, 8, 9, 10. My last 4 movies, they're just so bad that the only reason I gave this credit is because of Ant-Man himself. But it was all over the place, and I didn't like, I think, what they did with his wife, and then his daughter.
His wife?
It just pissed me off, because this guy doesn't deserve that. He's a good actor, he's been in a lot of things, he's a really nice person, he's from Kansas City, where I'm from, and, but he's really good, and this was all over the place. I couldn't stand it. It was just like having a bowl of mashed potatoes poured over your head. I mean, it's just awful. Okay, so I'm not going to say any more about that. Okay, the next one.
That was very random and didn't really make sense, but okay.
Well, it was all over the place. I just didn't like
just
it.
Admit
it wasn't very.
And just admit you didn't remember it, because, what
his
wife was hardly in the movie. She was like a footnote. She didn't do anything, basically. Are you talking about the Michelle Pfeiffer where she cheated on her husband for like 30 years and then she excuses it because she said that she had needs?
Well, sounds like that's one reason why I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is Scream 6.
Yeah, what number is that?
That's number 8.
What?
I mean, number... shit.
Oh!
That is number...
I'm not even going to number these movies, Safi, because I can't keep up with your weird shit where, you have Letterboxd, you can rank them on Letterboxd, and it's like you got to write them down in scribbles all over the place. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, this is a disaster.
I know it is, and you have Letterboxd. There's no excuse.
Okay. All right. It would be 8.
No.
I mean, it'd be, oh God, it'd be 3. It'd be 3.
I thought it was 4.
Yeah, right here. Okay.
Oh, 3?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
Do you need Count Dracula from Sesame Street?
Yeah.
Help you out?
It's kind of backward from what you do. Okay. Of course, that's not what I have here.
Well, you could use Letterboxd, because that's...
I'm looking at Letterboxd.
Then how do you not see the... God.
3. But where did I... This is a disaster.
I know it is.
The problem is I can't see this.
You
And
can't
there
see?
is, I'm missing the Haunted Mansion.
Uh-oh!
That should be way down here.
Yeah, where is that? God, Safi?
Oh, see, this got messed up.
Oh. This is what happens when you let Safi do something.
Okay, well, my 4th one was Ant-Man 3. I just talked about that. My next one is The Haunted Mansion. And that was a piece of crap. I mean, it was, these last 3 movies I have, 3, 2, and 1, they're really basically interchangeable. They're all 3 awful. And it's very disappointing because I saw the first Haunted Mansion. I told this to Marco, and it wasn't a par excellence movie, but it was fun, and it had Eddie Murphy, and it was good.
Safi, you didn't have to tell me that you saw that. I know that you saw it because you bought the VHS for me when I was in preschool. So I know that you saw it.
So anyway, I liked it, but this Haunted Mansion was horrible. It just was a disaster.
Yeah.
And it was awful. And I really did not like it at all. It wasn't any good. It just wasn't scary. It wasn't funny. It wasn't anything. It was just crap. And then my number 2 is Napoleon.
Ooh.
And it's a tie between 1 and 2, basically, and 3. Like I said, they're all interchangeable. I just watched this, and it's 3 hours of crap. I guess Marco said it was 2.5.
Yeah, Napoleon was your last movie of 2023.
And it really irritates me. They have millions of dollars. They have Ridley Scott, who's done some pretty good things. And why he couldn't get researchers to actually do the research and then to get a different person to play Napoleon. Now, Marco said that Joaquin Phoenix, he played Napoleon, that he's kind of tall. And Napoleon was short. In fact, they say when people are short men, they say that they have the Napoleon complex because Napoleon was short and he was crabby or something, and so they liken him to Napoleon. Well, Joaquin Phoenix is not short, so I don't know how they did that, but anyway.
Well,
Go ahead.
the funny thing that you said about the research is that Ridley Scott said that he leaves the research to the screenwriters.
Well,
But
Yeah.
then when the critics complained to him that the movie was inaccurate, he told the critics to get a life.
Well, I don't say kill Ridley. You don't get millions of dollars to make a shit movie, okay? Because I don't appreciate wasting 2.5 hours of my life watching crap. Now, I'll give you this. It was so bad with the historical accuracy, and I have to question everything I saw because of what I've heard, and that sounds terrible. But I mean, it's everybody says it. It doesn't matter who they are, that it was historically inaccurate. And so now it makes me want to go and look at the real research. But why do I have to do that? Why couldn't you make a good movie with historical accuracy? I know that every single detail is not going to be historically accurate, but when this one was just full of crap, and you can just tell it. And what he did, I mean, I don't know if I want to even mention on the video how Joaquin Phoenix played Napoleon, but there were some things that he did in the movie, and I'm not going to say it because it's very X-rated.
Well,
But,
I already talked about it on the review.
Oh, you did?
But you said and you agreed that Joaquin Phoenix basically played the Joker again.
Yes, that's true, and that's the essence of it too. He's playing the Joker again because, of course, that was a successful role. He got an Academy Award, right, for it. But this is not the Joker. This is Napoleon, and that's what he did. And I don't like what he did. And I don't like the historical inaccuracy. Now I have to go read I'm going to have to read a Napoleon book or two. And I really think, how could you do that to French people? Why did they deserve that? You know, I know that he was an emperor. I know and I don't know how that worked, but it's kind of mind-boggling to me. I guess this is an accuracy. The French just got rid of a monarchy. They chopped the people's heads off. And they show that. There's an opening scene. They chopped Marie Antoinette's head off.
Yeah, that's the best thing the French have ever done.
And so why would they want another, kind of close to having a monarchy when they just got rid of it? It just doesn't make sense, but that's a real thing. So that's probably the only real thing about it. And maybe he loved Josephine that much. I don't know.
No.
All the thing with the heirs. I mean, I can't really believe any of that.
Yeah.
Except I do know that he was an emperor. And I know that he was, his final battle was Waterloo.
I would rather.
I do know that.
I would rather vote for Napoleon than vote anyone running for president in 2024.
No.
I would vote for Napoleon every time he ran.
Well, I wouldn't.
Because he's a strong man.
No, I think he had to have been a good military tactician.
He could do anything.
There was a lot, in history. There's military tacticians. They call them that, and he probably was. He couldn't have conquered all those armies and lands if he wasn't. And the things that they showed, I don't know if they were accurate or not, but this one scene where he had the army of the other opposing side on ice water. And then they they were really good with the cannons. I don't know if this is true or not, but I mean, I know they had that, a cannon, the military weapon. But they shot holes in the cannons. The opposing army was all out on the ice, so they didn't even have to kill them. But like shooting them. The cannons made holes in the ice. They fell through the ice and died of hypothermia. So I don't know if that was true or not, but I mean, he was a military tactician, and to me that would be something a military tactician would have come up with. So anyway, I don't want to waste any more time with that, but it was really bad. Joaquin Phoenix, what he did in that movie, it's X-rated and was disgusting.
Yeah,
and it didn't add to the movie at all. It cheapened it and made it sickening.
Well, it was sickening because it didn't feel like it actually happened. And it also looked very fake because they used those sex police people. So, it looked very fake and choreographed, and it was just stupid because it just wasn't like... You could tell that it was just making fun of him and doing things that he probably never did in real life.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there. He did. It sounded like he was a big letter writer, and I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like, I don't know, they would make that up. But see, that's what I mean. You don't even know what's true and what isn't unless you know some of the history. I don't really know that much, but I do know some of it. Very little, though. Okay, my worst one was The Exorcist. It just came out, and
Believer. It's called The Exorcist Believer.
We reviewed it, so I don't even know why I'm not gonna waste my time. But for example, I'll just say Ellen Bernstein. I think it's Burstyn. She played the mother of Reagan in the movie. And she made a return, and so did actually the main girl for about 2 seconds. So, and it made it. Now I happened to see a trailer of it because it's almost like they were thrown in my face. I think they were all like on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, so it may have been there was tons of. They just kept showing it up on YouTube as a commercial, and I was busy and I just let it keep going instead of press skip the ad, And it made the impression that she was going to have a big part in the movie. And she's a good actress. Well, she was there for very little of the time. She was, put out of the movie pretty quickly because she got blinded. And in fact, I think she's blinded forever. I don't think it's a temporary thing. And so the movie just, oh God, it just suffered. And it was just awful. It was a worst piece of crap. And it really made me mad because, I saw the original movie at the theater in Kansas City on the plaza. That's the place in Kansas City. They decorate completely in Christmas lights, and it looks like a Spanish. It's in like a Spanish style architecture, and it's a really cool place with fountains, and it's all lit up in Christmas lights. They turn them on Thanksgiving night. And I saw it in a theater there. It was their main theater. I don't know if it's still there. I haven't been there in years, but I was with my dad and my roommate from college, one of them, and it was really good. And then when you go from there to here, it's like the difference between night and day. And really, if you're not, you shouldn't pretend like you're going to have something in your movie that's not there. You shouldn't leave the impression that she's going to be in the whole movie. And Marco said they had to beg her, and she needed the money for some kind of charitable group that she sponsors or whatever, and she wanted to be able to give them some more money. So she took the part for the money for that, which, that's nice, but for the movie makers, it was just awful. And the story with the girls, oh, God. It was just an awful movie, and we already reviewed it. I'm not going to go through it, but it just wasn't good. And like I said, between the Haunted Mansion, Napoleon, Exorcist, it's really interchangeable because they're three of the worst
Well,
movies I've ever seen.
What happened to Scream 6? Because, that's not even in your top 10 worst list anymore. Did you take it out?
No.
But you did take it out. You didn't go through with it.
I put it later. Just a minute.
Because is it because you like to stare at the main actresses?
No.
Because you said that they were highlighted in the movie, so...
Okay, let me see here. I'll see now. I just...
That's probably why you took it out, because you like to... you like to watch.
Okay, well, for some reason, I got mixed up. For some reason, it's there down near the bottom.
But it's not. You changed it. You took it out. You skipped over it. So... I can't keep up with your weird list shit.
Okay, well, my Scream 6 was 3. Napoleon was 2.
No, 3 was Haunted Mansion.
That's disappeared again. It keeps popping up to the next level. Okay, well, what happened? My list is all messed up, but I'm just telling you what my worst movies were. So I don't think I may not have them numbered right, but they're the 10 worst movies. Scream 6 is in there too. And the Haunted Mansion. Let me see here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There they are. I don't get it. Oh, see how Thanksgiving was supposed to be there.
Yeah. You could have taken Thanksgiving out of your top 10 worst and put...
It's not even on here.
You could have put 6 Cream there.
It should be. Haunted Mansion should be way down.
I hope that for your top 10 movies you don't spend an hour changing around your list, because it's only 10 movies.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There it is. Okay. My number 1 is The Exorcist. My number 2 is Napoleon. My number 3 is Scream 6. I'll say something about that in a minute. My 4 is Haunted Mansion. 5 is Ant-Man 3. 6 is The Flash. 7 is Free to a Bad Home. 8 is Children of the Corn. 9 is Wonka. And 10 is Barbie. And Thanksgiving is 11. That's in my mid to high range. So because I have 23, and you need a top 10 good and top 10 bad, I have 3 in the middle. And that's Thanksgiving, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and Yes Chef Christmas. Everything else goes in the top 10.
So why don't you like Scream 6? Are you just...
I didn't like Scream 6 because I thought it was disgusting. They had this thing, Marco said, I don't know if it was written or mentioned somewhere, they had to stick to their core 4. And that core 4 means four actors. And they had to stick with
No, I didn't mean it like that. Safi, it's in the movie. Did you not watch the movie?
Yeah, I heard that too.
It's from the script.
They have the male, I think it was the only male in the group. 3 women and a male.
Yeah, he's the token guy.
And he gets really badly injured, stabbed and messed up, to where in real life
He'd be
anybody
dead.
like that would be dead.
But he survives pretty easily, and in fact...
He survived so much that you would never even know he was ever injured, which is bullshit.
Yeah, they were acting like, oh, he could just walk it off now.
Yeah, and that's just BS. And to me, that just turned me completely off. And I thought the story was odd, and I didn't like it. I just wish they would just stop making these sequels, because they're crap.
The story...
I thought the 2 actresses who Marco has put all over my, I don't know what you want to call it, custom covers
Because
or whatever.
you are gay for Wednesday.
Don't do that.
Of course, you won't watch Wednesday.
Oh, God.
You refuse.
Anyway, I thought they did pretty good. I'd never seen the little girl. I call her the little girl. She's probably...
Yeah, you
I think
did.
she's 21. I thought she did pretty good. I'd never seen her in
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, you have. That's a lie. She was an X. Remember the shitty movie about where they make the porno at the farm and then the old lady kills people? The Texas Chainsaw ripoff.
The little girl?
Yeah,
who plays Wednesday?
Yeah, she was in that.
God, I don't remember
And
that.
we reviewed that. That was one of the worst movies ever.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
That's probably why I don't.
And then she was also in the last Scream. She was in 5 Cream. She was the one who, at the beginning of the movie, she talked about how she's really pretentious and she likes elevated horror movies, which is just code for shit horror movies. And then she gets stabbed by Scream, and then she's in the hospital the whole movie. You don't remember that?
No. I just,
Why
that
not?
movie was so bad. That was one I put on the shelf and just basically almost threw it in the trash in my head. Because I just get really sick of these people making these bad movies. Especially the ones that have, like Napoleon, that get a ton of money. Ant-Man 3, a ton of money. And then they make this crap. And I bet you anything, a Haunted Mansion got a few extra dollars too. And of course, I bet The Exorcist did.
Well, for The Exorcist, they had to spend $500 million just to get the rights to the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Before
that's
they
right.
even spent money on the budget for the movie.
And Scream 6. It's just disgusting. And I don't agree with it, and I don't like it. And to me, that just turns me off right away before I even talk about the movie. Because I just don't think... I'm sure there are other people out there with good movies that could do better if they would have done better if they'd given more money.
Haunted Mansion cost $150 million.
Ugh.
What a waste of money.
Yeah. Crappy movie. So anyway, I apologize for something happened. I pressed a button. We got these new phones. They're very sensitive. Very sensitive. You touch it and something happens and you get out of what you're watching and it goes to the next. You don't even want to watch it, but you just barely touch something and it's... So I messed up and I had it written down and then that was messed up there too, so...
Yeah, let's not do that for the top 10 because, my list video was only 35 minutes and your video is 50 minutes.
No, it figures. Okay, so I better go. So anyway, I apologize, everybody. And if you didn't like it, I understand. But I hope you liked it anyway. And give it a thumbs up, I hope. And become one of our subscribers so you can see how well we do. And see if you agree and what you think of what's your worst. What are your worst movies of just the 2023?
I had The Exorcist as the worst.
They just have. We just did the 2023 movies in this whole list.
We're doing.
And our good list and our bad list, and then like I said, I have 3 because I had 23. That's 3 extras that are in the middle. That was Thanksgiving, and then Wimpy Kid and Yes Chef, Christmas, which is a weird title, but it's a Lifetime movie, so, or no, it's not a Lifetime. What is it, Marco?
Yes
Chef, Christmas. It's
It's-
A&E, right?
It's a porno.
No, it's a Buddy Velastro. The reason why we know about the Yes Chef Christmas was because Buddy Velastro's in the movie several times. He did pretty good, and
No, you didn't. You said that he used his hands too much and he just played him.
it got better though.
Oh,
With he had like, I think figured he had 4 appearances in the movie. And the first one, I think he was nervous. He used his hands a lot. And when he talked, and it was kind of distracting, which I'm kind of surprised they didn't tell him. But who knows? So anyway, I guess we'll be doing the top 10 best tomorrow.
Well, I will be, but you will be doing it another day, and hopefully you are a little bit more prepared.
Well, I was prepared, but I messed up because I touched this and I noticed, there it is.
You probably canceled the changes that you made to the list. Or something.
I don't know.
Because you have to save the changes.
Yeah, I know. So in fact, I better touch save again to be sure. Let's see. No, it's already pressed. Okay. So anyway, I gotta go. So bye, everybody.
Bye!